I'm joined today with a really fascinating person, Bianca Briggs. How are you, Bianca?
I'm really well, thank you, Michael.
Goodness me, I was so excited to get you on the show. Heart-to-heart connections, your practice, but helping people with dementia.
Yes, supporting people living with dementia
Yeah.
and their partners and, extended family and friends.
Before we get into that, I must admit, I meet people like yourselves who are doing this type of work, and I wonder, how did you end up doing this?
Well, I started my career when I was 15 years old, and I just fell into aged care, really. I was looking for something to do in my school holidays, and a friend that was a doctor of my mum and dad's actually said, we've got gaps that need filling in a nursing home. And back then it was a C-class nursing home. They used to call them C-class nursing homes.
Right.
Weren't very well accredited, that kind of thing. So people just did the best they could with the knowledge they had.
Yep.
And I just had an affiliation with people living with dementia, and I just found them so beautiful, so open, so honest, and, really just loved it from there and just kept on going.
When you're exploring such and it is a challenging world because, and I was listening to you when you were chatting to Anne-Marie on her show, and it's like people with dementia almost speak a different language. What has been some of the challenges you've gone through to actually trying to understand or overcome or breach those gaps?
Yeah, I think when we're working with people living with dementia in the kind of moderate to advanced stages where their words and sentences aren't making as much sense to us as we think they are, we have to look behind those words and really listen to the meaning of what the person's saying. So trying to actually get over our thinking about things and actually feeling them, like making the step from here to here, as I say, mind to heart is the biggest one. And once we can do that, things start changing.
You say that, and I used to think of the name of your practice, connection to
heart connections, absolutely. And that's why I called it that, because it is. It's a real connection. And if you're doing it with anything else in your heart, your judgment comes in. So I talk a lot about getting rid of the judgment and the way things should be.
One thing I find by talking to yourself and listening to you earlier that really resonated with me was this passion, this fulfillment you seem to be getting out of this career you've chosen.
It's so yummy.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that resonates with you as in your heart?
Yeah, I think because you just get that nice little warm fuzzy buzz that, finally somebody's understanding what I'm trying to say. And once we get families and supportive partners that see the person making the best efforts to communicate, and it's up to us to actually understand, this person is doing the best they can with what they have. Yeah. And it's up to us to actually make the effort to understand them, not the other way around.
Not the other way around. On your journey, and I guess it is a journey because you're continuing learning, exploring, and you said you call it a practice because you are practicing along the way. Yeah. What do you think are a couple of biggest things you've learned from working with people with dementia?
I think truly being in the moment is the biggest one that I've learned, and not to worry about what happened yesterday or is going to happen in the next hour. This minute is where we should be right now, and concentrating on who we are at this time is really important.
For families that have people with dementia in the advanced stages of what they go through, what's some of the things you would actually share to them if they were listening, saying, look, can you give me a couple of little pointers that might just improve the quality of our life, because that's what you're all about.
Absolutely. Probably I talk a lot about body language and looking more for what people are expressing with their bodies. Eye contact is a really big one. Yeah. And looking at the way a person's holding their body, and actually using your language to bring out their communication, so really getting into that heart type of language. I sense, I feel, I see, I hear.
Yes.
So because the senses are kind of like the very basic part of being human. As we're growing up and learning, we talk a lot more about what we think. But people with kind of advanced stages of dementia go back to the very basic of the way that we communicate with the feelings and the
Right.
you know, the senses rather than the thinking.
Is that why? And I refer back to Anne-Marie's show with the spiritual life, and she was asking you, when someone talks about, look, my mother's here or my father's here, and you change it, because a lot of us would say, well, they've passed away, I'm sorry, you know, I'm trying to remind them, and you said, no, it's what are they feeling, and it was a great, could you remind us of what you actually rephrased that?
Yeah, so when people are talking to their mother who has passed maybe a long time ago, it's not the person that they're looking for, it's the feeling around that person. And usually when people are looking for their mothers, they're looking for that unconditional love. It doesn't matter how bad things got, your mother still loves you. So instead of saying that person died, you know, it's more around the feeling, oh, I can see you looking for your mum. What did she do that was so special to you? You know, tell me more about her.
So you're helping that person explore their emotions and bring out their feelings.
Yeah, and a lot of the time you get a lot of information around what their needs are and what they're asking for, and then you can support them in meeting that need.
Wow. Well, I know it's been a big day for you in the studio. It's about your fourth interview in a row. We haven't let it go. Conscious of your time.
That's
I really appreciate you taking the time and actually spending some time chatting to me.
Most welcome.
But someone out there, and look, there are lots of people out there now are going, look, we just need that help and support.
Yeah. What
is the best way of contacting yourself for that initial, you know, conversation? You always chat to people in that friendly way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do have a website. It's www.hearttoheartconnections.live, L-I-V-E.
Yeah.
And also I am part of the Spark of Life family. So if people just Google Spark of Life, they'll get hold of me somehow if they can't remember my website.
Fantastic. And if you can't, contact us here at the station and admin at 101 Business Radio, and we will certainly make sure you contact Bianca.
Thanks, Michael.
Bianca Briggs, so it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. It's incredible having people like you and the differences you're making in the world.